See, hello. Hugo, Angel, another Angel. Hello. Isabella, Juliet, and Caitlin. I think Caitlin's the only one we can't see on the video. I don't know if you can turn on your video. Justin, welcome in. How's everybody doing today? I know I don't usually see you on Tuesdays. Hopefully Tuesday's a fun day. Roman, welcome. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for the thumbs up, Jose. As always, we have a poll, but I'm putting the pressure on you all this week with the joke, okay? I got one for you. Why did the piggy bank go to school? Because they wanted to get a little more credit. We're going to be talking today about banking, finance, credit stuff, loans. So we only have one joke for you. You can either select that one or you can write your own joke in the chat. Whether or not it's related to bank and financing, I'll take it. So hopefully one of you can write me a good joke, look one up, share it with your cohort here. I appreciate it. Question number 2, if you could borrow anything for free and never return the money, what would it be? Would you buy a car, a house, a vacation home, or a library of books? This was maybe a little bit of a trick because we want you all to learn, but frankly, the house or vacation home is worth more, and you could sell it and buy as many books as you wanted. So, looks like house is the number one answer so far. If you could invest in one of these, knowing that it would succeed, which would it be? The number one answer so far is a restaurant. And I think this is a good one to choose for if you know it would succeed, because restaurants do not always succeed. Ooh, clothing line took over. I like that. Excuse me. If you had to spend $1,000 in 1 hour, what would you spend it on? Number one answer so far is clothes. Someone wants to go on a little shopping spree down in Beverly Hills. Actually, Beverly Hills, $1,000 probably wouldn't get you too much. What is the scariest part of borrowing money? Number one answer so far is the pressure of debt by far, 76% of you. I'm going to leave just a few more moments for you all to finish up the chat. Oh, great. A few more rolling in right there. So go ahead and finish up the poll. We're going to talk about it a little bit and then jump into our lesson for today. We have some more songs for you too, including one special gem. I think Jose and is it Bert have been doing well on the music so far, but hopefully you all can take over and win the crown. So we're going to go ahead and the poll here, and I'm going to share the results with everyone. I can't see the chat right now, but I don't know if anyone dropped a joke in chat.
Jose,
Did anyone drop a joke?
made a joke.
Jose, oh, hey, Jose, can you hop on and read it for us, please, or tell us?
Oh, I put, do you like Wendy's? Wendy's chicken nuggets go across your face, you know?
Oh, I can't see the here. Let me close this whole thing. Do you like Wendy's? Wendy's chicken nuggets go across your face? I don't think I get it. Are you gonna explain it to me or what?
What's up?
I don't think I get it. Okay, well, if you want to explain it, Jose, you're welcome to explain it. If not, we will move on. I'm actually kind of curious. So, how many of you chose a house as something that you would get if you never had to repay? Raise your hand. Yeah, Juliet, Jose. Okay, cool. Berta, Betsy. That was actually one of my first. I think I was, how old was I? 30. I was 33 when I bought my, maybe 30, 29. I think when I bought my first place, and I bought a fourplex. So 4 apartments. I lived in one of them and rented out the other 3, used that to pay the mortgage, and then I lived in the other one for free. And that was my very first experience buying a house. And I did repay the debt actually, but I didn't actually repay it. My tenants repaid it for me. So they were the ones paying all the principal, the interest, the taxes, and the insurance on my house. So I almost sort of did this. I almost bought a house and didn't repay it, but I had someone else repay it for me. So anyway, just a little banking finance related thing. And you can do that too. By the way, there's FHA loans. You only have to put 3.5% down, even if you're buying like 4 units like that. So 3.5% of whatever the purchase price is. I wanted to throw it out as a little tip that is not in the presentation today, but how I first got started in real estate. And you can too, if it's maybe too expensive to afford a house. Again, you can buy something actually even a little bit bigger and rent out the other ones to help pay your mortgage. They even include some of that extra income to qualify you for the loan. Welcome, whoever just came in. So we will go ahead and pop open the presentation for today. I will share with you today about credit, finance, banking, loans. I'm actually very experienced in this. I used to work in bank regulation for the state of California. So we used to go shut down banks when they weren't doing well enough and congratulated them when they did, looked at all their loan books and all that stuff. Um, and I've made a lot of money and I lost a lot of money. I think I told you all, and actually partially this was borrowing money. I made like a bit over 1 million. I cashed out maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And to be honest, because I borrowed so much money, even with that, like I had about $1 million, I borrowed like another 2 million and invested like 3 million. And I'm probably going to lose like 6 or 800,000 doing that. So I just want to throw out early on, borrowing can make you a lot of money if you're doing it with investments and things like that. It can also lose you a lot of money. So be careful. I'm a perfect example. I've seen it both ways. Watch your asses. Um, how would you rate the overall experience of the workshop? Okay, it looks like this got converted to a 5-star system instead of 4. Otherwise, we're just doing amazingly fantastic. But we're hovering right in between. I think that would that be very good and excellent somewhere. Um, the notes, feedback. Students felt that the breakout rooms were generally effective, but suggested improvements such as allowing more time for discussions, encouraging greater participation, having more breakout rooms to accommodate different question levels and pacing. Welcome, Eileen. Um, we'll try to allow for a little bit more time. It was interesting because some of the discussion groups, there's less participation, and I think they end up, hi, Caitlin, they ended up being too long, but some people want them longer. So maybe we can do 2 this time and we'll see how it works. Overall structure of the workshop, no major changes needed, though some suggested adding more time for workbook completion. Okay, and actually, Sheila, can you double check and see how many people out of those who attended last week completed the study guide? I hope everyone did.
Uh,
If not, we're going to give it some more time.
Let me see. Okay, I can go ahead and check that right now.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Yeah, and I think if you saw my email, I think it's based on the total. So
Yeah,
I'm just curious if everyone was able to get it in.
yeah,
Was it actually, if you all don't mind telling me, can you raise your hand if you were not able to submit the workbook last week for some reason, or the survey to get your points, get your money? Feel free to raise your hand. If not, you can send us a message. Let us know what we can help you do to get everything completed. You're here learning already, which is great. You might as well get paid for it too. So actually, why
we
don't we
got
drop the submission link? Is it already in here? Oh yeah. Week
yeah.
10 workbook submission form. So if you all look in the chat right now, this is my understanding at your school, okay? You can click on this form and you can submit your workbook electronically without writing it on a piece of paper, without taking a picture on your phone, without having to do it from home or waiting till after class. So I encourage you all right now, go in the chat, click the little chat thing at the bottom, click on the form, it says workbook submission form. Go ahead and click on that and leave it open right now. As we talk about these things, I'm going to give you time to fill out that workbook. So open it right now. You can still fill it out on paper if you'd like to and take a picture and send it in. But my understanding is you're not going to be able to log onto Wi-Fi at your school with your phone, and you're not going to be able to submit it in class. So again, we want everyone to get paid since you're already here learning. Go ahead and click on that link now. 26 submissions. Thank you, Sheila. One as it wasn't able to submit it on time. So that is really excellent and improved from our prior classes. So I'm going to consider that a huge win. Thank you all for submitting it. Again, we want you all to get a lot out of the class and to make money. So we're going to continue doing that, and hopefully we can get that last person submitted. So a little bit more time for workbook completion. It sounds like maybe some of you completed it after class, since most everyone got it in. Engaging, humorous, student-centered, facilitator style. Thank you. Interactive methods like group activities, polls, relatable examples, create a positive, comfortable learning environment. Okay. So I will try to continue giving you examples from my own life, some examples from the presentations, and I will ask you all questions to do kind of some more group activity stuff, and we got some songs for you always. Let's go ahead to the next slide, please. Okay, so here's what we're going to be talking about today: banking, credit, debt, and loans. Again, these can be very valuable tools to be able to get loans, to be able to build your credit. But loans can also be dangerous if you take on too much debt or it's not for something good and you're just wasting your money and owe a bunch of money for it. So that's what we'll be talking about today. Go ahead to the next slide, please, Sheila. So where we're headed, I would like to select someone to go ahead and read the first couple bullet points on here, please. I'm not sure if there's anyone who we haven't had a chance to, but how about Abigail? Do you mind reading the first couple bullet points on there, please, under where we're headed, starting with discover?
Discover the importance of credit scores, how they are calculated, and strategies to establish to maintain good credit. Explore different types of debt, student loans, credit card debt, and learn responsible borrowing practices.
Perfect.
Develop.
Oh, I was actually just going to have you do too, but you can read the whole thing if you want to. It's up to you. You good? Thank you, Abigail. I appreciate it. I'm actually going to let you select one of your classmates to go ahead and read the next couple.
Gisette.
Gisette, you are the lucky one.
I start at the develop, right? I read that one. Okay. Develop practical skills for budgeting, saving, and managing money effectively to achieve financial goals. Understand the risks associated with borrowing and how to what's that word?
Understanding. Sorry, I got lost.
Mitigate.
Understanding the risks associated with borrowing. Yeah, and how to mitigate them to avoid
Mitigate them
financial
to
pitfalls.
avoid financial pitfalls.
Yeah, so and mitigate is just how to kind of like minimize the risk basically associated with that. So that's what that is. I'm kind of curious, how many of you know if you have a credit score right now or not? Like raise your hand if you know you have a credit score and what it is. Have any of you ever seen it before? And I think actually tell me, what age are you all right now? Because you actually can get a credit card as a minor if you have an adult signing for you. You want to type in the chat, how old is everyone? 15. Okay. And we'll talk a little bit about this. Okay, thanks. I appreciate it. I couldn't remember if like how close you all were to getting to be 18, but again, damn, Jose 200. That's impressive, man. You're looking good. You got real smooth skin for a 200-year-old. But basically, we're going to talk a little bit about this today, but you can start building your credit actually as you're a minor so that when you become 18, if you need to purchase something or you need some money to invest in a business, whatever it may be, you want to go buy a house. You need that credit score first. So we're going to talk about how to do that today. And skills for budgeting, saving, understanding the risk, and a little bit about consumer protections, a little bit about the law stuff. I know some people don't view this as the most exciting stuff, but how many of you like to make money? Raise your hand. Or to have money. Even better if you don't have to work for it. We're going to talk a little bit about how we not have to work for it too, if you ever do some investing in the future. So we'll touch on that also, but we have another lesson that will cover that even more in the future. So why don't we go to the next slide, please, Sheila? So Warren Buffett quote here says, rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. I wonder if this is how that Fight Club they're thinking about. Oh, anyway, first rule of Fight Club, second rule of Fight Club, don't talk about Fight Club. What if understanding the intricacies of banking, credit, debt, and loans could be your key to financial freedom? So we're going to talk about some of the intricacies of the banking system, credit dynamics, debt management, complexities of loans, and we're going to go more into this entire semester on banking, learning how financial institutions operate. We're going to talk a little bit about investing in the future also, and talk about credit scores and reports. The basic thing here is that these companies keep track of whether or not you repay your debts, and then they give you a score that lets others know whether they should let you borrow money or not. So that's what we're talking about here, and that's what we'll get into on the next slide. So that's what the credit report is. Why it's important is because if you want to make a big purchase, for example, buying that house, if you end up needing to buy a car, If you want to invest some money in a business or buy some equipment to do something, maybe you just want to borrow, like if you don't have a lot of cash, you need a new laptop to do some more advanced thing to go make money with it. You're going to need a credit score to be able to borrow money. So that's why it's important to you. And we'll understand more about how it actually plays out and how it's calculated. We'll go ahead to the next slide, please. Hey, Jose, if you don't like the music, we got some different stuff coming up. Okay. Joanna,
Yay!
congratulations, Snoop Dogg. Oh, it's not the Snoop Dogg song, but oh, you all are from Long Beach, huh? Shit, we should have had some Snoop Dogg. All right, next week we'll try to include Snoop Dogg. Tila, please make a note. Congratulations, Johanna. Money, money, money. Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Crown for you. Thank you for participating. Again, we're talking today about money, credit, loans. So remember, all these songs will have some relationship to money or what we're talking about. We'll give you a clue about who it is. Congratulations, Johanna. We'll go to the next slide. Yeah, we need more Snoop Dogg. I forgot the Long Beach. All right. The LBC. You know me. Answer the question. Hey, and guess what? For those of you who have opened that submission form, this is, I believe, an actual question that is in that submission form. How do you think your financial habits and decisions might impact how others trust you, just like how a credit score reflects your reliability to lenders? So think about the people in your life that you've ever borrowed money from or you've lent money to. Did they repay you? Did you repay them? Did they maybe tell someone about it? So how do you think your financial habits and decisions impact how others trust you? And again, that's similar to a credit score. If you want to make any relationship between the two, go ahead and type that in. I'm going to give you a little bit of time right now to go ahead and type the answer into your submission form so that as we go through this, you'll already be done with one question and we'll complete the rest as we go through. So go ahead. Okay, and as you're doing that, I'm going to sing a little song for you all. And I'm already going to tell you, actually, I'm not going to tell you who it is. First one to get the title and artist. This is going to be like, what's it called? There's some like name that tune. So I'm only going to give you a little bit. And we'll see if anyone can get it, okay? La-di-da-di-da. Who knows who sings that and what the 50 Cent? It is not 50 Cent, Kimberly. La-di-da-di-da. It is Snoop Dogg. Yes, you both got it right. Do you know what song it is? Both Alexander and Jason got it. Love, Live, Serve. I actually don't know. I have to like sing the rest of the song to get the answer. But I'm giving it to both of you, Alexander and Jason. All right, are you all done answering that first question in your workbook? Raise your hand if you're done, please, and you've already typed the answer. Okay, we got Jason, Andres, Johanna, awesome, David. You go. Okay, cool. Again, this is one thing that we wanted to do, so we're trying to do better at it. A few of you asked for more time. We'll give you some more time as we go through. Bro, answering that late. Okay, we'll go to the next slide, please. So here we're going to talk about taking on debt and controlling debt. So these are kind of some related things, basically, but you have your spending plan. You're either going to spend money that you've already earned, or you can spend money that you've borrowed, which comes with some interest. So you got to pay them back. Some extra money on top of that is less than that you can go spend on other things too. And we're going to talk a little bit about what's good debt kind of versus bad debt. Like, for example, if you go take a credit card and just go hit the mall, buy that $1,000 worth of clothes, have no plan to repay it. That's a little bit different, for example, than buying a cheap car that you need to get to a job that's going to pay you well that you can repay the debt for example. I'm not talking about buying some, super shiny Bentley or some, crap like that. I'm talking about just a car to get back and forth from work, for example, or borrowing money, like I said, to invest in a business or buy a computer so that you could do some additional services online or something like that. That's kind of something where if you do need to take on debt, you first of all, want to be able to repay it. But secondly, hopefully you're doing something good with it and not just blowing it on a bunch of stupid crap. So we'll go ahead to the next slide, please. So evaluating debt and interest. So basically what we have here is some car loans, a few different lenders here. And so actually, let's look at this question. The first question, okay, so $15,000 car loan for 5 years. It has the interest rate on here and the total interest paid. So first of all, what lender would you choose? ABC, XYZ, or Joe's Auto Sales? So I want you to type down in the chat right here, everyone, please. We'll do a little class participation. ABC. And actually, for those of you who don't know, okay, Jose likes paying interest. ABC. By the way, for any of you who are in sales, well, first of all, Sheila's going to be talking a little bit later about this awesome event, the Ignite conference coming up. We're going to learn from a bunch of different people in different industries. But my favorite like sales thing is ABCs is always be closing. Closing a deal is like when you finally sign it and like, you know, make the money or whatever. So the vast majority of you got it correct. ABC has the lowest interest rate, 6.5% versus 7.5 or 15. Then total interest paid is 2,600 versus 3,000 or 6,000. Justin and Jose just love paying interest. If you guys ever need to borrow money, come see me first because I love people charging people a bunch of interest and making money so I don't have to work. So come to me if you'd like to borrow money before you go to Joe's Auto Sales and pay them 15%. Now we get another question. Okay, so that one was a little bit easier. Now we get a $15,000 car loan at 6% interest. Would you rather pay it over 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years? So if you look down here at the payment amount, if you pay it off real quickly, you pay the least amount of interest, but you pay the highest payments to get it paid off more quickly. Or you can pay a little more interest and the payments are lower. So for example, 5 years, only $293 versus $460. Okay, so Jose picked the 4-year. How many of you, I want everyone to answer, please. So if you can say the 3, the 4, or the 5-year, which would you choose? And that's kind of, you know, Jose's is kind of like right in the middle. Bertha's going for the lower thing. And I'm kind of curious, Berta, if you don't mind hopping on and answering for us, why did you choose the 5-year versus the 3-year?
I picked the 5-year because the payments are lower. So like it'll be better because like if I don't have enough money to pay off for that month, then I'm just gonna be in more debt.
I think that's a great point, right? And part of this here is being realistic about what you can pay off, and you want some cushion there, right? So if you're stuck with a $460 payment versus $293, man, what if you can't pay it, right? $293 is a lot more affordable. The trade-off there, right, is you're going to pay more interest over time. You know, instead of 16,500, it's going to be 17,600. One thing I would note here is, and again, I'm not trying to encourage anyone to, you know, take one method or another, but the point is kind of that trade-off. And at least when I look at it, I'm kind of like, well, it's 1,000 more than the 16,000 original. So it's only like maybe, you know, 6 or 7% more interest paid, but you get an extra 2 years to pay it off versus the 3-year. You almost double the time you get to pay it off, and you just pay a little bit more interest along the way. It's not too much. To be honest, I think I take the 5-year too, 5-year also. There's no wrong or right answer. If you can pay it off in 3 years, you're going to pay less in interest. You want to give yourself a little extra cushion. I want to let you know most all consumer loans and mortgages, you can always pay extra if you want to reduce the balance and reduce the interest you owe without penalties. So that's different if you get a commercial loan, but for anything that you would normally get, you can always make extra payments on it. So for example, if you did, you know, want to get that 5-year loan, Berta, you can actually, if you have the extra money, you can make $460 payments also, but you're not stuck making them. You can just, you're obligated to pay $293, but you can pay a little bit more if you want. So we'll go ahead to the next slide and cover a little bit more about debt and interest rates. Whoa, we got another question on here. What do you think that's all for? Of course, it's another question from your workbook. So go ahead and open up your workbook again. Hopefully it's open in a separate window. If you'd like to write it down, you can do that also. But what factors do you consider before using a credit card or taking out a loan? So if you have not done that already, what if you're borrowing money from someone else? And how do you think those decisions will impact your net worth over time? So what do you consider before borrowing money? Do you care who you borrow it from? Do people charge you interest on it or not? Are they going to bug you about it all the time, even though you said you'd pay it back next week? Are they going to bug you in the meantime, and it's just not worth it? So just think about, what do you consider before you're borrowing money from someone? What are you thinking about before you borrow money? Hopefully you're all considering, at least, can I repay it? When can I repay it? At a minimum, right? And then maybe something about the borrower. Have some extra money on the side. How long will it take to be paid back? I like that. Yeah, thinking if I can afford what I borrowed. Thank you, Sheila. I appreciate y'all. Actually, I appreciate if y'all share it in the chat. If you can copy and paste it from whatever you answered. But again, a big part of this is giving you some time to fill out the questions in that study guide so you can get submitted by the end of class today. Who yet said I would consider the interest rate? Absolutely. Especially when I was investing, sometimes I would use some borrowing to invest also. And I wanted to make sure the interest rate was much lower than I was expecting to earn on the investment. Cost more interest, Juliet. Yeah. Yeah. Belinda put, consider the interest rate and how long it'll take to pay back. Absolutely. And the higher the interest rate, basically the longer it's going to take to pay back if you're making the same amount of payments. So it is a very, very important part. We will go ahead to the next slide, please. And we're going to give some time at the end.
Give me the drop, some money, dropping on my money, drop some money, all this stuff so yummy, yeah. Twerking, when I buy the things I like.
Who got it? Is that Juliet? Is it BTS?
No.
I don't think that's BTS. Isn't that a Korean, like,
Yeah,
boy
she's a
band?
Korean
K-pop.
K-pop artist. Yes, Angelica. Angelica got it. Yay.
Good job, Angelica.
job.
Money by Lisa. I like this one a little bit more than the prior one. I thought it was funny because they was like calling out the prior song, but okay. Crown for you. Okay, here we go. Boom.
Nice.
Congratulations. That was Money by Lisa. And again, y'all should have known that the title basically was the same as last time. It was Money, Money last time. Money, Money, Money. Now it's Money. Next time it's just gonna be Money. You're getting shorter and shorter each time. I'm trying out here. Okay. Next slide, please. What do you notice? Okay. So actually, I think this ties back to a little bit about how we perceive things and marketing and how do they advertise and how do we get drawn into different things. So what do you see here out of all these? Like, what's the first thing you notice? You can go ahead and go ahead and type in the chat, or I'm going to call on some people too. Let's say Betsy Ramirez. What's the first thing you notice here? Anything that pops out to you?
Like the 0%.
Yeah, and can you think why it might pop out to you? Do you like that number in particular?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's big too, right? I think it's the biggest thing on there. So I think my eyes got drawn to it because it's like, wow, 0%. So what's I'm going to ask you actually one other question, or actually Betsy, you can select someone for me to ask a question to regarding this. Anyone you'd like in the class there.
Kimberly.
All right, Kimberly. So we're talking about this 0%. It is the biggest thing on there. It draws the eyes. What does it say right below that 0%?
The on purchases and balance transfers.
Yeah, and even above that, like right below the percentage thing, what does it say?
Intro APR.
Exactly. And what else is right behind the APR?
Limit limited time offer.
Yeah, kind of. But I was thinking like, so right where it says 0% intro APR, it has a little asterisk, right? Like a little star up there. This is an important thing that I want to point out because almost all advertisements will have something like that on it. And what that asterisk is, thank you also, Kimberly. I wasn't trying to get you in like a catch you situation or whatever. You did read the right things on here. But I did just want to point out that little asterisk, that little star that it has behind the APR. That will have something below where it shows that asterisk and it's got all the terms of the details. So for example, if you look at this like cash as fast as 1 hour, there's a bunch of terms at the very bottom. So I think it's just important to read all the fine print. You want to know exactly what you're getting into. So be careful, read the fine print, and wherever you see these little asterisks, make sure you look what they are. This other one's a rewards credit card. We could go on to the next slide. But basically, if you do use a credit card to spend on stuff, they'll usually give you like 1 to 2% of that in cash back, kind of rewards sort of thing. So as long as you're able to pay it off, it can help you build credit and get a little bit of extra rewards to maybe go do something fun with. So we'll go ahead to the next slide, please. Beware, be careful of these things. So basically the point is that they can be very beneficial to help you build your credit score. For example, a credit card to help build your credit score. And it can be very beneficial, for example, to get a mortgage to buy a house if you can afford it. But it also can be very dangerous. So I talked to you all about, I've used it to make money, help my life better. But I've also lost a lot of money and in the process of losing a lot of money from borrowing so much. Again, I got that million and I gave it to people. They borrowed another 2 million with it and invested 3 million on my behalf. But even if you're only borrowing $500 to invest 500 of your own money to invest 1,000 total, if that investment doesn't work out, how are you going to pay back the money? So fortunately, I'm not on a hook for those monies, but the property could be lost that I invested in if it goes wrong. So be careful. Said, watch your ass. We'll go on to the next slide, please. Okay, answer the question. This is another question that you will answer in your study guide so that you can get your points and get paid. Let's see, why don't we have someone read for this for us? Kimberly, can you please select someone in the class to read this question for us? I think your microphone's on mute, but if you unmute it, you can let us know who.
Belinda?
Belinda? Can you go ahead and please read the question here for everybody as we answer it in our workbooks?
As a high school student, how do you navigate choices that seem appealing on the surface, but may have hidden consequences, whether in friendship, schoolwork, or finances? When faced with offers or opportunities that seem too good to be true, how do you evaluate them to make sure you're not being taken advantage of, just like when deciding on a loan or credit service?
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it. So one of the things that it's talking about here is like basically how do you avoid scams or how do you avoid getting kind of like suckered into or marketed to so that you take some offer that maybe is not good for you. Remember, most people or businesses, I should say, that are lending money are doing it to make money, not because they love you, not because they necessarily care about what you do in the future, except to the extent that they can make money and get repaid, right? So they're going to try to entice you in, like, for example, with that 0% intro APR. But if you can't pay it back at the end of that, kind of extra beneficial period, then you're going to end up paying them a bunch of interest, right? So how do you evaluate that and how do you see that? I'm kind of curious, has anyone ever been scammed before? Do you mind raising your hand? I'm going to share a funny scam story with you guys, okay? You're going to laugh at me for this one. Okay, Jose's been scammed. So here's the deal. I was out in the Dominican Republic. I've traveled maybe 50, 60 countries, having a drink, walking down the street. These guys at a casino offer me $20 free to play. And I'm like, oh, I like gambling. This should be fun, right? They put a drink in my hand, playing some game. It's not even a real game. But anyway, basically, like the bet doubles every once in a while, and you collect some points and you can win a jackpot. Anyway, the bet doubles. I'm like winning some money. So I'm like, okay, I'll stand around for a while, play around for a while. First of all, why do you think they offered me $20 free? Just like that 0% interest rate, right? Did they care about me? No, only to the extent that they could get some money out of me, right? So I'm there, I'm having drinks, I'm getting closer to the jackpot, right? So I'm going to win a bunch of money. But at the same time, the bet I have to make each time is doubling. So this is going to be interesting because we're going to talk about compound interest and compounding in another lesson. But basically, the $20 bet goes to 40, right? From 40, it goes to 80, 80 to 160. So each bet I have to bet that time as I'm building towards this jackpot. The last bet, I think, was like, it doubled from, I think, $1,000 to $2,000. And I was like, I'm done. So they were nice enough to give me a free ride home. They gave me credit too, right? This is another part about credit. Why did they give me credit? They wanted me to owe them money, right? They were nice enough to give me a free ride home so they could pick up my passport till the banks opened in the morning. And they picked me up in the morning, again, a free ride over to the bank to go take out $12,000 that I owed them, that I blew in a single night at a casino in the Dominican Republic because I accepted their $20 free. I accepted credit and I was drinking. So don't drink and make poor choices. Never take credit at a casino. And in general, I think it's just an important point about taking credit. Was that good debt or was that bad debt? That's why you shouldn't be a gamble addict. Yes, thank you, Jose. And I want to share this lesson with you all so you don't make the same mistakes I do, right? But someone said, so you're never going to go to a casino again? And I'm like, I'll go, but I'm never taking credit again. Never credit at a casino. I'll bring as much cash as I can lose. I know what my max ATM limit is. I can only lose that much in a night. I don't want to encourage you all to gamble, but definitely never take credit. And again, think about when you're taking credit. Are you doing it on something that's beneficial? Is it a good investment? Was this a good reason for taking credit out? Raise your hand if you think it was. Oh, that was a trick. No, put him down. It was just an extremely poor choice. And again, be careful with credit. I talked about making money with it and losing money with it. We'll go on to the next slide, please. By the way, Dominican Republic is a beautiful place. Awesome beaches. I love they like have these smashed plantain things that they fry up. It's delicious. Highly recommend you go there. Do not go to whatever casino is in the downtown area. Is that survey? I think
You're allowed.
I think the last slide was there's a question. Oh, it was that. Okay, so this is the last question. Okay, so actually we'll go back to the question, please. And has everyone had a chance to complete the questions in the workbook? And actually, I'm going to give you a few minutes right now to go ahead and answer this before we go into some breakout rooms, if we have people to do it. So I got down here. Go ahead and take some time. So again, what I want you to do right now is to finish all the questions in your workbook and submit it. Click submit, okay? Sheila, if you can you pull up the thing that shows who submitted it so far? You don't need to announce it to the whole class, just yet, but I just kind of wanted to see what kind of progress we're getting on that. Again, we're giving you all time right now to submit the rest of the workbook. If you have not already done it, it's in the chat is the link. Answer all the questions and submit it. I'd also like you to, well, actually, we shouldn't fill out the survey yet. I'm going to give you a little bit of time right at the end to fill out the survey too, but I'd like you to get the vast majority of the class in first, including the discussion groups, the breakout groups, so that we can see how well we did on that also. Sheila, do we have any alumni in here today?
Yeah, we have
Stacy.
Stacy.
Okay, Stacy, thank you for being so consistently showing up for everyone. As students are completing their workbook, Sheila, I just wanted to throw out what I'd like you to please do is, if it's possible, if I can have you, Jen, and Stacy be the leaders of 3 different breakout rooms.
Yeah.
And if it's possible to not assign me to one, but make sure that I'm the co-host so that I can pop into them, I would love that.
Yep, you are.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're
cool.
gonna create
Thank you.
3. Jen and I talked about it a while ago. We're gonna create 3 breakout rooms.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right, you all are already on it. Thank you. I appreciate it. How are we doing on submissions so far?
We
Can you see
got.
that?
Can I say the number?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 10 so far.
Oh, nice. Okay, 10 of you have already completed it. Congratulations. That leaves another probably 18. 28 people maybe total?
Yeah, something like that. Let me
Okay,
see.
cool. And Stacy, of course, feel free to take some time to do it also. I know you'll be working with everyone in the discussion group here. So you probably won't have time to do it then. So if you can, go ahead. The rest of you, go ahead and take some more time. If you're having any issues, please send us a text, and you can send it to everyone or send it to us individually. We will help you and try to get it done.
We got 11 now. Nice.
All right. I'll give you all a crown for every single one that comes through. How about that? Oh, actually, I'll give you one of these things. A little
Nice.
party.
Party hat.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's spraying stuff out. Congratulations.
Oh, I might have forgotten to check the file one because they might have sent it there. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Boom,
7,
rockets.
9, 19 actually. So 19
Oh,
submissions
good.
so far. Great.
19 out of what? 28. Okay, so I think there's 9 more people. Go ahead and take a few more moments to fill that out, please. In
Right.
just a moment, we're going to go into discussion groups, and we're going to talk about these study guide questions. I think, Sheila, I don't know if this last one's the best to talk about, but do we have like a list of all the discussion questions maybe we can drop in, and people
Yeah,
can kind of choose
definitely.
what they want to talk about? And I think they
Okay.
need to be dropped
The
in the chat
engaged.
before we go into the discussion groups for them to be included. I
Sure.
think. I don't know how
I'm
that
gonna go
works.
ahead and put that here.
Okay, perfect.
I'll be doing that
And
then.
what's that?
Sorry, I just filled in. Let me just go ahead and put the questions right now.
And you all can kind of run it however you want. I like to sort of select someone to answer a question and have them choose someone else to kind of share either on that question or something related. Hopefully we can get everyone to answer a few questions. Why don't we do it for, how long do you all think? What did you all type? I want everyone to type in the chat right now. How many minutes should we do the discussion group for? 5 minutes, 6, 8? Jose says 0. We're going to be doing one unless no one wants to do one, but I think people did say in general that they like the discussion group stuff. So I do want to leave sufficient time for that. I think everyone kind of, some people like it a little bit longer, some like it a little shorter. We'll do roughly probably the average of whatever you all want to do. Because again, we want it to be valuable for you, for you to be able to share your ideas with other students in your class and not bore you also. So there's like a lot of 5s, 8, 10. Why don't we go kind of in the middle? 6.5 minutes. I'm like that king. Cut everything in half. Did you recently get a haircut? You look fresh. You know, actually, I got a cut when I was, where was I going? Yeah, just last week or something. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jose. Shit, man, I always look fresh, but no, thank you. It is a little, kind of hard to see with the background, but I have super long hair. This long. Comes down to my mouth. All right. I think, yeah, so 6.5, 7 minutes, something like that. We'll go ahead and hop into the discussion groups. We'll come back, talk about what we learned. Sheila's going to give a few announcements. We're going to make sure we get all those workbooks submitted and give a little time for the survey too. So there's the questions. Let's go into the discussion groups and talk about it a little bit. Thank you all for participating. Thanks, Jose. Yeah, man, I'm rocking this. Boom, 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 boom. All right, get in there.
I'm gonna join room 3, Sheila. I renamed
Okay,
the
I'm
group.
trying to. All right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Jay. Bye.
Thank you. Hey, Angela, it sounds like maybe you can't hear me on here. Um, uh, you-
Hello, welcome back.
Okay, welcome back, everybody.
Welcome
Welcome
back.
back. Sheila, I'm kind of curious, what did you all, is there anything that was kind of a common thing that popped out, or any questions that people had, or what was kind of interesting about your group that you were leading there?
Actually, I think the one we talk about that was like very interesting, just actually because we only talk about a few questions. We only talk about like 2 questions actually.
Mhm.
But the one is consider a scenario where you need to choose between saving up for a purchase or using a credit card to buy immediately. And I think Aileen, can you please share your answer regarding that part? We would like to hear it again if it's all right with you.
I said if it was something important, like a necessity, I would do a loan. And if it was something that I like, it was more of a want, I would save up for it.
I like that. Yeah, want versus a need sort of thing.
Yeah, sort of thing. So I think it's very interesting in a way that because for me, I don't have a credit card myself, Jay, and a lot of people are asking me to get one, but not right now. I'm still trying to like open my mind about it before I get it. But I think it's very interesting that she already knows what to use her credit card on, like the things that she need than what she wants. And I think that's very interesting because for me also, I save up for the things that I want and not I need. But for credit card, I think, yeah, that's a very good thing. I think that's a good debt, right, Jay? If you're getting something that you need, kind of.
Yeah, I would say in general, it's better than, just go, buying a bunch of frivolous things like
Yeah.
a new purse or a new this or that, right? When it's like, yeah, you can already carry stuff. I think, one thing we didn't touch on, and I think we're going to get more into this when we talk about investing in the future in another lesson. But I was watching another lesson with I think some of the Banning students by Carlos was teaching it. And he was talking about this great book. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And part of it is about instead of spending your money on stuff, especially that you don't need, but is investing your money so that in the future you have earnings from that, like earning some interest or earning returns or whatever it may be, then using that profit to pay for stuff. So, you know, good debt, bad debt, I think there's a lot. You know, if you're using a credit card for necessities, that means you're not making enough money for basic life. And I think that's a really difficult spot to be in, because if you're not already making enough to pay for your food and your housing and things like that, I don't think a credit card is going to get you out of that problem in the long term. You know, if it's just a single month where maybe you have some lower income or something, you know, you got to buy some necessities, you know, that can work. But I think if you're so stretched that you're purchasing necessities with a credit card, I think I would advise to reach out to some resources that are available to provide, you know, food, housing assistance. You know, there's a WIC program, I think, you know, especially for your, I think for children, maybe minors also, but there's all kinds of ways and resources to help get some of those basic necessities. And I would encourage someone to try to do that first before racking up, you know, credit card debt and having to pay high interest just for something, you know, if it's just for food, it's like, what's going to happen next month, right? Then there's even less for food because the credit card debt's even higher. So it's not, you know, bad per se, but I like the idea of thinking about how necessary is this thing? And I would say it's even better debt if, for example, you're using that credit card to buy something that's going to make you money. So I gave this, I think, example maybe a little bit earlier, but maybe like, let's say you were going to do work online. So I think I shared with you previously, there's this website like Upwork, upwork.com, where you can get hired and do work for people online and make some money. If you were going to, you know, didn't have any money to buy a computer, but you know you have the skills to make enough money to pay that off over the next however many months, you know, maybe with that 0% interest APR, buying a computer that with a credit card that will make you money to repay that credit card and earn additional income to cover your necessities, I think is an even different and maybe better plan, right? So I would call that kind of the good debt, is if you're using debt to get something that's going to make you money, whether that be, again, a tool, a resource, a software subscription, you know, maybe it's buying some equipment, you know, maybe you're doing a lawn mowing thing and you need a little bit of capital to get started. That's potentially one way to do it, right? Is to borrow some money. And again, I especially like the ones where it's borrowing to get something that's going to make more money rather than something that's just going to be consumed or gone. And then you got to go work more to pay it off. So I just wanted to throw that out there as kind of a last, kind of how I view it a little bit. I would like to pause for just a moment before we do some of the announcements. Sheila's going to be talking about the Ignite conference coming up. We can learn about a bunch of different kind of employers and industries and see what might be good. What I want you to do right now, and I think it's already in the chat, but maybe if not, we can drop it back in there, is the survey. So the survey is one other thing that you need to do to get your points and get paid for this class. Again, you've already learned, you might as well get paid for it too. So I'd like to give you a moment to go ahead and fill out the survey. You can say whatever you want about me. I won't be offended. We appreciate your honest feedback. And again, we want to do better every time. So hopefully we've provided enough time this time. Sorry. Go ahead and fill out the survey right now in the last couple minutes of class. Sorry about that. Could you all understand what I was saying just by reading my lip syncing or no? Jose, you got to tweak it. Go ahead and take a few moments to fill out the survey, please. Again, we want you all to be successful. We want to hear your honest feedback, and we want to do better for you every time. So go ahead and get everything submitted right now. Got the survey dropped in again there. Sheila, how are we doing on the workbook submissions? Did we get everybody in so far?
I've checked 5 minutes ago and it's like 22, 23.
Oh, damn, it's so close. Come on, people, get them all in.
Yeah, I'll check again right now because I can definitely see it when I check it.
All right, and go ahead and, like I said, fill out the survey as your last little portion here. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about this thing, Sheila, unless you want to do it. I think it's pretty cool. I'm actually coming down to LA for this. I'm going to ride my motorcycle back down for the Ignite conference. I believe there's going to be 9 different speakers. So there's going to be some business folks. There's going to be a bunch of people from the medical community. and then I believe like STEM, science, technology, kind of engineering type stuff. So a little bit of everything for everybody, and you can hop around, learn about these different industries. Sheila, when's the date and the deadline for all that stuff?
November. The deadline would be this week, November 8th. So, but yeah, we
Okay,
got 27 submission, Jay.
27. I think there's 28 people. Is there one person who didn't get it? Anyway,
What?
please give
Sorry.
yourself a round of applause. Congratulations for getting it done. Yeah, go ahead, clap in your classroom. It's the only time you can be loud. Like, all right. Thank you for the enthusiastic clapping, Jose, and everyone else who participated with that. Sheila, I guess any last announcements before we bounce out for the week?
All right. Thank you so much, Jay. And thank you so much, Jay, for such a great class. And thank you everyone for engaging and for being here. And we'd like to thank Stacy for being so consistent of coming in here and leading our breaker room. Thank you, Stacy. All right, for announcements, so Jay already told you about the workbook. I'm not gonna announce that again, but you guys know the deadline, which is Friday, 5 p.m., and that includes a survey. The next one would be, we have a field trip, you guys, and this is, you're gonna learn about a lot about careers that you do not know about. You will also get advices from those experts on that field, and you will also learn how to make better career choices. Jay will be there. All of other facilitators will be there, so you can see them. You can all see them. So, and we're also gonna make it very fun and engaging for you guys. And this field trip is called Ignite Conference Field Trip. This is gonna happen November 16, but the RSVP deadline would be November 8th, which is going to be on Friday. So I'm gonna show you something that will, I think, make you go on the field trip, hopefully. So this is it. So if you guys already had 18 points in the program, like this is also what I'm going to tell you guys. This is our last field trip of the year. So this is going to be the last, and then we will go to the next semester, which is going to be next year. But this is our last field trip of the year, of the first semester. So if you guys have 18 points already in the program, plus 4, because so field trip actually has 4 points, right? You can see it here. Field trip, 4 points. And then we have 3 field trips of the year. So you have 12 points on that. So if ever you already have 18 points plus 4 points from the field trip, you will get 22 points, and you will already earn $200 in the program, which is very important. And then if you already got 22 points plus 4 points for the field trip, you will get 300. If ever you got 26 plus 4, that'll be 30, and that's $400, you guys. That's a lot of money already. And if you got 30 points plus 4, you will get $500, which is so great. And you will get you will get money in this program if you go to this field trip. So we highly encourage you to go to this field trip, because you will earn money, because points makes money, right? I mean, that's our deal here. But you will also learn a lot with this field trip. And yes, we would really like you to come. The RSVP deadline, like I said, would be Friday this week, November 8th, 5 p.m. Okay? Like, thumbs up if you guys got that. Okay, thank you. The next one would be our Ignite. This is different. This is what we usually do. This is a bonus class, all right? We have our Ignite speaker series. It's only an hour long, and this is a webinar like we usually do. And our guest for that is Brandy Miloy. We don't know what she's going to talk about yet, but this is also going to be an insightful webinar for you guys, for you to learn about. But the most important thing is, especially for you, is the points. If you guys miss a class, you will get 2 points for this, for the Ignite. 1 point for going in there and opening your camera. The second one would be the post survey. So if you guys ever miss a class, this is your chance to make up for those points, because points makes money, right? Got that? Thumbs up, please. Okay, so please, you guys, I'm trying very hard here. You will make my job very easy if you guys sign up. So
Please help Sheila. Come on,
please
submit
sign
it.
up. All right.
Anyway, for anyone who can make it out there, I will see you out there. Go get paid. Submit. Thank you all for submitting your workbooks. I think maybe only one person down so far. So let us know how we could do better, and we will see you all next week. The Rock here once again. Thank you for the joke that I didn't understand. We'll try some more next week too. Maybe some Snoop Dogg too. All right.
Bye, everyone. See you guys
Peace out.
Bye.
If anyone has questions, feel free to hang around for a minute. We'll try to answer whatever we can.
All right. Juliet, do you have any questions?